America's dad or America's cad, huh? Comedian Bill Cosby is being accused of drugging and raping as many as 15 women in the 1980s. Tuesday evening, CNN anchor and my squash partner, Don Lemon, interviewed alleged victim Joan Tarshis. After noting that Tarshis had lied to Cosby to keep him from having intercourse with her, Lemon asked a question that many believed crossed a line.
You said he made you perform oral sex.
Right.
You know, there are ways not to perform oral sex if you want to do it.
I was kind of stoned at the time, and quite honestly, that didn't even enter my mind.
Yeah.
Now I wish it would have.
Right.
But
meaning the using of the teeth. Right?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I didn't even think of it.
Biting. So.
Ouch.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Well, Lemon was criticized for being insensitive, and on Wednesday, of course, he apologized.
A word about my interview last night with Cosby accuser Joan Tarshis. As I'm a victim myself, I would never want to suggest that any victim could have prevented a rape. If my question to her struck anyone as insensitive, I am sorry, as that is certainly and was not my intention.
Meanwhile, NBC has pulled the plug on an upcoming sitcom starring Bill Cosby, and Netflix has delayed airing a new Cosby comedy special. I think that delay will be indefinite. NBC instead has ordered a new season of Turtle Burglars. That's amazing. That turtle has more of a social life than you, Andy.
I don't get it. I can do that.
No, but he's coming home from somewhere. You never come home from anywhere because you're always home. Kennedy.
Yes.
Okay, good questions often require asking uncomfortable questions. I should have said good journalism. That's why I'm here. In order to get
good question, though.
Thank you. Was that an inappropriate question? Like, why didn't you bite?
It's so wildly inappropriate. I mean, it's a way of re-victimizing someone who allegedly has been through something quite traumatic and horrible. And I don't think that question is ever going to produce an intriguing or positive result. Like, what's the best case scenario that can come? Like, let's say she answered that in the affirmative, or he asked her, you know, why didn't you use your teeth? What is she supposed to say? Because it tasted like pudding. Like, it's so raw. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up. I'm getting very emotional. I had a spit bubble. But it's so wrong on so many levels. And I would say Don Lemon should know better than that, but he constantly does things over and over again.
Don Lemon is asked the most strange. I find him actually captivating because I never know which direction he's going to go in. Like, I'll think he's going to side with somebody, and then he gets really angry at them, and then he just becomes really flippant and doesn't care. I never know where he's going. You know, he's like a car with a wonky wheel.
Don Lemon is like the sentinel of journalism.
He's the sentinel of journalism. Mike, let's talk about this. Should people be more angry at Lemon or shouldn't they just be more focused on Cosby?
Yeah, just keep the focus where it should be. Try to figure out what all these allegations mean and get to the bottom of it. I mean, you know, you see something like that, and I don't know. What are you going to say?
It's destroyed you as a fan of the Cosby Show.
Well, of the Cosby Show.
You were considered the white Cosby.
Yeah, who didn't? I mean, everybody liked Bill Cosby. That was the thing. I mean, I remember Bill Cosby from the '60s. Good God.
Well, you were considered for a long time the fifth Huxtable child.
I was. Actually, I still have several of my Coogie sweaters too. But who didn't love Puddin' Pops? But you know, the whole thing is just so sad, and it's going to be played out, and it's
okay. I have to say I haven't read the whole thing, but Andy, a lot of these are did anybody go to the police, or was all this done? Okay, that's then that's what I wanted to know. Then if they went to the police, how come he never got arrested? Or did he get arrested?
They always said they couldn't find enough information. Janice Dickinson allegedly wrote about this in her memoir.
And nobody paid it. Nobody read her memoir.
No, it was taken out because when they went through the vetting process or whatever it's called when you write a book and then they go ask people if the stuff is true. It's always like, yeah, go ahead and publish that. We will sue you into oblivion. And like, Janice.
Yeah, maybe it's not worth it. No one misses something that isn't there. That's what everybody tells me when I'm writing.
Or when you're just not there.
Yeah, exactly. That was painful.
Can I say, the ironic part of the whole Lemon thing is he could have stopped the whole thing from happening if he had just bitten his tongue.
Oh, Andy, you're going to apologize for that.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't see why. I don't know. I want to talk about Lemon's apology because it was awful. Yeah. First, he says, "I'm sorry if my comment struck anyone as insensitive." Well, it's not if. He knows this comment struck a lot of people as insensitive. And then he says, "As a victim myself, I would never want to suggest that any victim could have prevented a rape." But that's what he did. It's just it's an awful, awful apology. He should have done a better
the standard apology now is to go out there and say, "Well, I'm sorry if what I said offended anybody."
Should he apologize for the apology?
He absolutely should apologize for the apology.
Joanne, should he have asked that question?
No.
No.
And two, I mean, especially when it's I think a topic as sensitive as this, and you're on air, you don't ask that in front of.
You ask him in the green room.
No, but you could screen through it. You know.
Yes.
Obviously, it wasn't a well thought out and delivered question. The real thing that gets me kind of upset is how they're canceling all these things for Bill Cosby now. I'm not thinking about him.
Are you
I'm
worried
thinking
about the money? You're such a sweet person.
Yeah, I always think about the money. No, I'm worried about all the people who were signed on to do that show, the cameramen, like all the people, the other people cast in this show.
Well, the show hadn't gotten that far. The show hadn't even been greenlit.
They didn't even know a script.
But it would have been.
Considering the way you talk about our crew, I find it hard to believe you care about the cameraman.
They know who their friend is on this panel, and it's not.
What a hypocrite.
No, you know what's funny is that all these places are canceling him, even though they probably already knew about this stuff for years, because it's an open secret. It's the same stuff about that has been said about him and Chuck Berry. Like you can find it anywhere on the web.
NBC
Everybody
is the Roger Goodell in this.
Yeah. So now they're all canceling because they found out.
It's just allegations. So then what happens? If charges are pressed and he's found guilty of doing XYZ, then how much more can you punish him?
Okay, now let's just say, and this is being ridiculous here, but let's just pretend that Bill Cosby did none of this, and his reputation has been maligned. Like, how can you possibly? And I don't believe that he's innocent. In my guts, they don't tell me that this probably wasn't true, but that's not the important thing. But let's say it wasn't.
Yeah.
How could you possibly ever prove you're innocent?
That's a good point.
And what should Bill Cosby do?
Yeah, probably move to an island. That's what I would do.
You know what? Unless he goes to jail, redemption comes incredibly quick here. Now he's 77, but I bet he's 79 and he's redeemed. I mean, look at all these various examples that we've got. Good God, Spitzer got himself a show.
That's
shortly
true.
thereafter. Wiener almost won an election here. I mean, it just happens time and time again.
Al Sharpton goes to the White House every other day, and his history with.
I don't know. I think there's something different about. Stuff against people's will, especially when you're talking about younger girls and underage girls and young women, 18, 19 years old. Like even, let's say it was his fetish. Let's say, there are people who like to do things, but, forcing people to have sex against their will is wrong in any era.
That's quite a stand you're taking, Kennedy.
But
Greg, I like to step out on a limb.
Yes, exactly.
But it gets to the question of how much can you separate an artist's work from his life?
Yes.
Like Annie Hall is always going to be a great movie. Rosemary's Baby is always going to be a great movie. Woody Allen is a bag.
Yeah.
Roman Polanski is a bag. The Cosby Show is always going to be one of the most important shows in the history of television. But so what do you do now? I mean, Chris Brown is that's a bad example.
What about Seventh Heaven? It's hard to watch Seventh Heaven now.
Oh, it is.
What's his face?
I used to watch it.
I guess the difference
Thursday.
there is it was always hard to watch Seventh Heaven.
Yes, it was always hard to watch Seventh Heaven. I can't even remember his name. All right, coming up.
It was Kirk Gibson, I think.
What the hell was Seventh Heaven?
Kirk Gibson?
No, he was a Detroit Tiger.
Exactly, that's what it was.
There you go.
I was thinking baseball.
You don't want him suing or kicking my butt.